What is up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond. I'm back with my own new review of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is the third part, thank God. So we are right back with the conversation of Anthony pretty much lying to both Sheree and Drew about what he said. He may or may not have said that Ralph was gay and said that Drew needed a storyline. He didn't say this. He might have said that. Goodbye, Anthony. He played both of y'all. Pretty much use what you needed to get on the show. I already said last episode, I believe he told one truth and one lie. I believe he told Drew the truth that Sheree don't pay and told a lie to Sheree that Ralph is gay. And that was pretty much it. And then they go back and forth about how Drew don't pay people now and she receiving cash apps from people about Sheree's sex tape. It's just dumb at this point. Dumb, dumb, dumb. And how can Sheree find it hypocritical for Candy to be upset that people are calling her a hoe when you get mad when people say you don't pay people? She said, it's not that I get mad, it's old. I need new content. New content will mean that you pay people. That will be new content. Old will be you still owe a balance. New content will mean you paid Drew a balance of his birthday party that she will never pay back. Like all the way, like it's just ridiculous, Sheree. You need to just keep it a buck and just admit you don't like paying people. You cheap and you ain't got no money. Anyway, then we get to Fatum. And that Fatum did way too much of doing the background check on Drew and her husband. It was too far. She don't know Drew. She don't know Ralph, but she does know Sheree. And it was just like, this is ridiculous. But Drew did not make it no better when she defended the story that all the aliases was her father-in-law's name and his wife, Darlene or Danielle. I'm like, Drew, you could have kept that. That did not make it better. Be quiet. But again, she had no reason to come at Fatum like that. But I don't know what I wrote. No. Oh, oh, the whole, get Ralph is gay thing. Fatum had no reason to do that. She didn't know her. And then of course here goes Sheree, stuttering and lying, acting like she is so like, I don't know what to do. Why are you asking me? Why are you telling me? That's not me. I don't control that person. They're grown. I'm like, at the end of the day though, Sheree, that was your friend. You could have told your friend what she did was wrong. Get it. You can't control a grown woman, but you could have told her what she did. This is why Sheree gets on my damn nerves. She always wants to act like she's above being called out on what she played in. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, it's... and just say, place on your assistant. He the one who said it. He the one who said it, but your friend kept it going. I get it. Anthony is a messy ass bitch. I get it. But your friend carried it on and you stood there. When you had the ability to say, stop, that's not cool. That's not what Sheree does. Right now, there's no friendship. So the men came out. They had a fun night, drinking all the way until the morning. Sonya and Ross have different parenting styles because, Sonya wants to treat her son like that's my baby, and Ross just wants to be able to step in and be his daddy. He realizes that when it comes to moms and their children, they want to spoil them. They want to, cuddle them, keep them close, smother them. You have to let her do that and also have your relationship with him as well. Then we talk about him being aggressive in Jamaica. What did he think that Kenya meant when she called him aggressive? He understood it, but he was trying to de-escalate the situation. They had cool energy at the next day at the airport, and she understood what he was trying to do. She wishes that there was somebody else on her side to defend her like he defended Sonya. Again, I feel like Kenya don't want to explain herself. She don't want to explain herself. She don't want to go back to that again. But I really wish they would have delved into how it made her feel since she is, no, Kisharay and Marlo are single, but in that moment, King was by herself with nobody right there. No man to defend her. I wish that we would have kept that energy. That Sonya, nobody's calling your man aggressive, but you gotta admit, he did too much by standing up for you when he didn't need to. Candy's segment came up. It was about the play, talking about Todd's condo, the trust fund, and the vibrating panties. So when it came down to the vibrating panties, Sonya wore them. She got excited. Didn't know it was Ralph controlling the remote. How did Ross feel? He didn't pay attention until he watched the show. Then we get to Marla. Marla having conversations with Sheree. about what Ty might be doing with his condo in New Jersey, alluding to he might be cheating, and it's a double standard of Marlo. Why do you always talk about other people's relationship but never yours? So again, she just mentions from her experiences that all men cheat, and she apologizes to Ty. And I'm like, she's been apologizing this entire reunion. So we get to her comment that Candy has every right to be cautious of what Todd is doing. The streets are talking, and that Candy said that their sex life was lacking. This was Sheree's comment because Sheree piggybacked off what Marlo said. I don't know why you guys are not prepared for the camera catches. So what does she mean by the streets be talking? She lies and says she hasn't heard anything from the streets and that she was picking back off of Marlo. But I feel like Sheree, if you never heard anything, why did you have something to say? You might have thought about it and you wanted to attach it to something. And I'm like, y'all always want to paint out Kane to be the bad guy. Kane got some tea, but Kane don't got no tea. Like Ty said, Mama Joy said she heard the streets as well, and nothing came up about the streets about Ty. So, Sheree, stop lying. And I wish that Candy would have called out Sheree more about what she said because it wasn't necessary. And this is what Candy was talking about, how you threw shade at me all through the season when I didn't do nothing to you. All she did was call out shade that was needed. The Tyrone shade, the Sheba Sheree shade, that was needed. You calling out their husband might cheat, not necessary. You saying that she was selfish, not necessary. Then, oh, wait, where am I at? Oh, right, the parenting styles of Riley and Kayla. Riley grew up in a lavish home, but Kayla had to work. Do you think that it's kind of a double standard for you to have Kayla go through struggle and Riley not go through struggle? But he talks about how he grew up in the Bronx and the way he grew up, it molded him. It made him the man he is today, having all these businesses, the mindset that he has, and the same struggle that his daughter is going through. She's going to appreciate it. I mean, she's following her father's footsteps. She's in production. She has an apartment. She is learning the value of hard work. And I wasn't mad at Ty for saying that. At the end of the day, what he did wasn't wrong. He's teaching his daughter how to grow up in this world, how to understand the value of a dollar, what it means to work hard and see the fruits of your labor. It's not going to always be handed to you because mommy and daddy got the money. You're going to know how to work for it. And that's completely right. So then we get to his condo. His condo has been redone. It looks great. They will be staying there for BravoCon and the red carpet premiere of her new play, The Piano Lesson, because she still wants her EGOT. You know what I'm saying? She got the Grammy. She's looking for the Tony. And what is it about her saying that Ty can't remarry? Well, basically, she's had history of people passing down in her family, and when they remarry, the new wife or the new husband has control over what goes to the family. But he thought that she was being possessive and maybe loves him for not to marry. It was weird, but we're going to move on. Drew, we talk about her marital issues, her weight loss program, and the adoption of her son. Now, did he fire the assistant? He said he fired the assistant, and he also watched how it played back that he wasn't showing up for his wife. The love that he has for his wife wasn't showing up, and he gave her an apology, probably more apologies from that point on. Then when it came down to Ralph explaining the text messages he told the guys, they laughed about it. Ross stands on the fact that it was funny, but Ty said, I'm going to just stick to how Drew feels. Good answer. Does Kenya wishes that somebody would have stepped in on how Mark treated her the way that she did Ralph? Like, does she feel like somebody would have stepped in? And she says kind of a back and forth. It's like you don't want people to step in on what they should step in. Like, I don't know, it's getting out of hand. Should I step in? I don't want to step on no toes, but I don't like how he's talking to her. Like, you never know on when to step in on a situation that could be bad, that could be good. It's sticky. You never know. The fans were wondering why didn't anybody check Kenya on how she confronted Ralph, but felt like it wasn't wrong for Marlo. No, felt like it was wrong of Marlo checking Ralph about adopting his stepson. Situations were different because Marlo had no place to question anybody else's parenting, and the way that it was witnessed, how Ralph was gaslighting Drew. Kenyon called it out, and I wasn't mad. And again, Sonya is always trying to defend what a man's character is because she always says that what Ken did to Ralph was a little bit much. She told her the next day that she did too much. I don't know if Sonya doesn't want to be on that bandwagon of not saying that man can do this, a man shouldn't do that, because Ralph was gaslighting Drew in that moment at that dinner table, and Ken spoke up. I don't know. Sonya is just giving me like she doesn't want to be on the opposite side of calling out what a man does when he's in the wrong. You didn't want to defend Kenya that your husband did too much, but you want to defend Ralph that maybe Kenya shouldn't have confronted him? Okay, fine. Drew felt like she didn't receive any support from her workout program because she felt like, Kenya and Kenny were throwing shots. They were giving her support, but when Drew was talking about her Drop It with Drew weight loss program, it was given like, did she not know what the business does? Did she not know how to talk about it? Did she not know everything? She wasn't knowledgeable about what the business represented. I mean, they did throw shade. They did. But you can't blame them for not getting the full understanding of what the business was. But that's why she wanted them to tell her. That's why I invited them over for them to give me criticism. Help me learn. Help me learn how to, develop more into the business and not talk about behind my back. So they understood that. And, help me do better than to call me a busted can of biscuits. That was by Sheree. Sheree is a disgusting human being. Like, she is just nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Because Drew does not, measure up to her standards or what a body should look like. And she stood up and said, my body is amazing, okay? Busted can of biscuits where? And Drew does look amazing. She looks gorgeous. And she did lose more weight. She would not give the accurate number, but she did lose in between 15 and 20 pounds. I'm like, fuck you, Sheree. Fuck you. You will never tell us your secret. So then we go back to, Sheree lying, not taking accountability, talking about somebody else's husband because we're going back to the whole Ralph is gay, okay? Now, it was said by Anthony, but your friend repeated it, and you didn't do nothing to stop it. And this is what I don't like about Sheree. Sheree stutters, Sheree lies, she acts dumb, because she mentioned more things about Ralph. When it came down to Drew throwing the bone at Fatum, Sheree said, did she bring Ralph's dildo here? And it's like, girl, you keep on talking about her husband. What is your obsession with her husband? Sheree, just keep it a bug. You did not want to stop it. You wanted Drew to look stupid. You wanted to call her out, but you did not want to do it yourself. You had your friend do it. And she keeps on saying the same thing. Like, I don't know. That was your assistant. That wasn't me. Look at your assistant. But Ralph said, you know for a fact I'm not gay. How do I know for a fact that you're not gay? This man is married. He has 3 children. What you mean you know for a fact? He is not gay. And she keeps on saying, I mean, it wasn't me. It was the assistant. It was him. It was her. She said, I didn't. She said, I didn't. I don't know what you want me to do. I'm like, at the end of the day, stop saying it was just the assistant. It does not absolve you from your involvement. It doesn't absolve you from all the shade you thrown. I don't know why she keeps on bringing up Fatum like she wouldn't confront her. She did confront her multiple times. But she said, focus on yourself. Focus on she not done yet. Don't focus on me. Focus on yourself. And it's kind of like, Sheree, good night and goodbye. Go to hell. I swear it was annoying me that Sheree was not. Oh my God. I'm trying to calm down. Sheree was not taking accountability. Sheree was lying. She was stuttering. She was just a nasty individual. And why do you always go for a man's sexuality? Like, what is it? Does it do something for you? It was just annoying to me. Like, it was completely annoying. Like, girl, just keep it a buck. You were being messy. You were being shady. I don't care if you never repeated. You heard it and you did not put a stop to it. You didn't tell your friend to stop. You didn't stop. Fuck you, Sheree. Like, fuck you. Ugh, I can't. Ugh. Oh my God. So then we get back to Drew's behavior. No, Ralph's behavior about what he could have done, what he could have said. He realized that his attitude needs some adjustment. He wish he would have approached her differently, especially at the dinner that he did for her. And why does Drew always ruin an event with arguing? I don't think she ruins it. I just think that she kind of wants to be able to be in a safe place of letting my feelings be expressed without getting questioned. Like, she took blame for that dinner. I don't know why she did that. But basically, I wanted to have a conversation to express how I felt, and he did not give me that space. And he understood that. Like, she wants for things to be on a consistent basis because he does nice things for her. He spoils me. I want it to be consistent, even if we have our good days and bad days. So we get the gaslighting edited. They did that. He looked at his behavior. Like I said, he realized he's adding some adjustment. Then we get to the step parent book that he's doing. And, like, why did he choose to write a book? And what's the difference between a step parent? And, with raising someone else's child that's not yours, it is a different connection. But he did not tell her about the book. He said, yes, I did. No, you didn't. You took her to Chicago, you had dinner, and you told me after you signed the book deal. And I didn't even know you were shopping for a book deal. See that shit right there? Like, how are you going to write a book that's personal to her, personal of her journey of being a single mother before she met you, for you to write a book and not tell her the purpose of the book? Like, leave her in the dark with everything. And what is the purpose of the book? I don't think I got his answer. I think I zoned off. And then how there's 3 reasons to adopt a child. He said one reason is a child's father has passed. One is the child's father doesn't want to be around. The third reason, I don't think he said it. But I was just like, what excuses do you have that you don't want to adopt Josiah? Is it because he's not biologically yours? You want to still share the responsibility with his father? Like, he can still do things? I don't know, Ralph. I'm trying to be on your side. I can't. Because I still feel like while you think that you shouldn't be rushed to adopt him, I think that you're still holding on to the fact that he's not your biological son and that his father is still here. He can still do those things. I'm just here to take care of him. You can do everything else. That's what I'm getting. Yeah, he didn't answer questions, the navigation of being a step parent, but if it's about Drew and her son, it becomes personal, okay? Then it ended from there. I think all the men leave from that point. Oh no, we didn't know they didn't leave. I'm sorry. Marlo and Candy, how they go back and forth. Marlo was not a good friend to Candy. She keeps on talking about her, about how she dates under a tax bracket. She never helps out other people, and she wasn't acting like Michelle Obama. I'm not going high. I'm going to hell. But basically, how can you say that Candy don't help her own community when you don't help your community? Marlo apologizes. She took accountability that she was in her feelings. It doesn't make it right, but she's sorry. Then we get to Sheree. How is it that you want Candy to be a friend to you, but you're not being a friend to her? So we go back to the beginning. Then when it came down to Drew spray the information that Sheree wasn't paying people, she expected for Candy to tell her. And that if Sheree received any information about Candy, she would let her know right away. Lies, Sheree. You are becoming Pinocchio. Lies. I'm so happy that Candy brought up that Kim told you that Candy offered to eat her box, and you never told Candy that. You could miss me. That Sheree has never, at one point on being on the show, never went back and told anybody what anybody said about her friends. Never. She took the information, carried it, and acted like she never heard it. Any of her friends' information, she carried it and spread it to the other person and not them. You could fucking miss me. That's why I was like, I know damn well Sheree isn't acting like Kenny was being a friend to her when she's not a friend to her as well. You could miss me, Sheree. Lying ass. Moving on. We get to Marl's comment about how Kenny dates below her tax bracket. Todd said, listen, everybody is below Kenny's tax bracket and is, okay? Then, going back and forth. Why did you step in on Ralph? Why did you do that? Kenny told her, don't do it. You're not married. You don't know what it's like. Please stay out of other people's businesses and relationships. Why did she address Todd? Because she was in her feelings and she should not have said what she said to him. She should have kept the conversation between her and Candy. And did Todd ever call Candy a country bumpkin? He said no. And then Marlon wanted clarification of who did she pay to get into the circle. He wanted to tell the story that he was working behind the scenes. Remember, he was in production. And in the earlier seasons, Marla was thirsty. She paid for her flight, paid for her hotel, paid for it to get in. She paid to get in the circle. And I feel like Andy kind of admitted that you kind of did, though. You did pay for your flight, you paid for your hotel, you kind of bought your way in, though. Like, you need to just admit that you were being very thirsty, okay? And then do you really think that Candy is not worldwide? Again, she was in her feelings. She clarified she didn't mean like that. She meant that her and Candy can be in different circles. Candy would never be able to enter the circles that Marlo was in. I said, what circles is that? So said, what if I'm in Paris or London and I'm able to get in, but she can't get in? In what way? By the back? The back door? The server side? That's how you can get in, by the server side. She's getting through VIP. What side are you getting in again? I think Marlo just talks. She just blabs and doesn't think about what she says, hoping that whatever she comes out will land as a read, land as a gotcha. Like saying that, if I'm going in the music industry, I don't think Candy will enter in the hip hop side. No, in the R&B side. I don't think she'll be connected to there. I don't think she'll be invited there. I think she's more of a hip hop. Candy more of a hip hop than R&B, Marlo. Again, she's worldwide. She is multifaceted in every genre. Okay? Marlo just talking nonsense. Just shut up. Then we get to the whole truce over KFC chicken. And the reason why the truce happened was because she already no, the truce happened because Todd was already forgiving Marlo. Todd was over and done. He was moving on. So she's like, okay, I'm going to let go and move on. Marlo said that Candy knows she's not a nasty person. King was like, she knows you're not a nasty person. Marlo is a nasty person. When will she ever be nice? When did she have a nice bone in her body? I don't know, something else. I wasn't paying attention. I don't know what she said. She just kept saying sorry. This whole reunion, Marlo kept saying sorry. And that I'm going to pretty much stop saying sorry and show you actions. That's what I will do. Kenny said that will mean more if you show me action. So we are wrapping up the season. All the ladies had small moments, how things were coming in from the darkness, owning up to what they said. I'm worldwide, forming a sisterhood. But I'm looking on Twitter, and there were a lot of things that were not being shown. We did not see the hair flip, the argument between Sonya and Drew. I wanted to get to that point. Y'all cut a lot of stuff out that I don't like for us to get these 3-part reunions, and nothing was really like, wow. Nothing was like, ooh, nothing. And, at the end of every reunion, we mostly come up with a gift, but they were gifted by Sheba Sheree. Please, it was a bare rack with 4 shirts and a duffel bag. Like, nobody else was going to wear those ugly-ass clothes. I'm sorry. But that was pretty much the end of season 14. It's a wrap, okay? I would say that season 14 was a good season. It was good. Better than last season. Yeah, I just realized that production pretty much had a lot to do with what should have been included in the season that would have made it better. But I don't know. They wanted to control the flow in what the show wanted to do. And I didn't like that. Production, don't do that. Don't produce the show in ways you want it to be seen. Let us find out if that scene could be cut out. Let us say, y'all could have kept that. Y'all could have squashed that. Like, give us everything all at once, raw, uncut. Give it to us, okay? But y'all, that's it. That's all I have. Please stay tuned for the next video, and I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.